Hey, welcome back to Papa's Custom Cars. Today we're building a wiring stand, I guess, or a wiring station, so that I can start doing the wiring once I finish with the engine compartment. So I'm going to show you how I built this and my thoughts moving forward, and I'll show you where I've gotten so far, and then my moving forward, and then I'll post another video later showing you how I finished it. So let's get to it. So today we're doing some work on my son's truck, and I've got an old toolbox that I was going to give him. It's kind of my hand-me-down, but it's a nice size box. And so I had purchased some tools at an auction, 300 piece good wrench set or gear wrench set. Excuse me. And so he's been working on cars alongside me, and I've been teaching him as we go the different things that to do as you're learning how to do this. And with his box, it's a top box. It doesn't have a bottom to it, so we needed a way for it to be mobile. So we decided we had to go over to Home Depot to pick up some. It didn't come with screwdrivers or pliers or anything of that nature. Came in a plastic box, and the box was just real rickety. So we went to Harbor Freight, and we bought socket holders and screwdrivers and that type of thing for him to put in his box, along with all these wrenches and sockets. So he's got a nice looking set. Well, in thinking about it, we were talking then as I was at Home Depot, or not Home Depot, let me say that again, Harbor Freight, we looked at some carts, and I've got an old rickety cart that I've been dragging around, and you'll see it in the background of all these videos. I've been dragging this thing around more than 10 years, so it's time to upgrade it. And I've been working on wiring and trying to figure out how to build a wiring stand. So I figured, you know what, Home Depot, or there I go again. Sorry about that, folks. Harbor Freight's got this 3-tier rolling steel cart, service cart. And the nice thing I like about this little service cart that I got is it's real small. It's not heavy. It's easy to get around. You know, it's just an easy toolbox or easy bench to work with. I've got my rolling toolbox, which is really great if I've got a bunch of work to do and I need to take a bunch of tools. But this little portable chart, I've used it for welding. I've used it for pretty much everything and anything you can possibly think of. And so I thought, well, while we're at the Harbor Freight, I needed to upgrade my cart. So I figured, you know what, I'll give him another hand-me-down, and I'll get a new cart and give him a hand-me-down of my old cart. It's a good cart. It works well. But it's time that I've outgrown it. So I bought this three-shelf steel cart, and I'm making some modifications to it to fit multiple needs. Number one being a wiring station. Not the top part, but more the bottom part. Here, let me show you what I've done so far. So far with this build, I went out and I bought some all-thread rod. I bought 2 feet of it off of Amazon. Got a pretty decent price for it. Excuse me, while Bull heads over to the bed to lay down. Go lay down. Go lay down. Go on. That's a boy. Lay down. Lay down. All the way. There you go. Good boy. So anyway, like I was saying, as I was buying this cart and brought it home and started putting it together, I had my wires hanging off of a shelf and just hanging there, the whole row of them. And they're bowed, and it's kind of inconvenient. So I was looking at this cart, and as I'm getting ready to build it, I'm looking at it going, this would make a pretty good wiring cart too. I can put all my wiring supplies in the second drawer, and then my other stuff that I've got in my other cart in my third drawer, which is, little bags and things of that nature. And as I'm building this, I'm adding in my head more and more and more to it. So I took these off, I measured them down on both sides, and drilled holes for this all-threaded rod. And the all-threaded rod basically makes it so whatever I decide to use this for at a later date, I can. Or if I want to put in a divider of some kind, like I was thinking, if I designed it as a paper holder for for taping the car, like the paper, I could always put in a blocker in here with the threaded rod and put my masking tape on one and so on and so forth. So the whole purpose of this is to use it for multiple ways, and or maybe even build off the other side. I don't know yet. The other side's got a handle on it, so it's kind of is what it is. But my main concern is, we all know that when we have loose wiring like this, it kind of gets around everywhere. So I figured out that if I got some grommets that were about 3 millimeters, I could drill holes down here and then feed this down through those holes. So I'm going to go over here and scrounge around and see if I've got some 3 millimeter grommets or something even smaller, and let's see if we can start building and enhancing this. Basically, this is a piece of all thread. There's a bolt on this end and a bolt on this one, and the reason I did that was so that I can unbolt it from either side. If I need to replace anything, I can move it back and forth. Bottom one, same thing. I'm running the same thing now. The only thing I haven't done yet is cut this off because it is sticking out. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to go find some grommets here in a second and see if we can put in 4 grommets, or even 5 or 6, depending, maybe 2 or 3 on each one, different sizes for different sized wires. We'll kind of see how it goes at first, and then we'll kind of go from there. But that'll definitely help this rolling cart be a little bit more than just a rolling cart. It'll actually provide a purpose. And like I said, this is a really nice place to put wiring, connectors, all that kind of thing, and then you can drag this thing around wherever you want in your garage. So I think this is a really good idea. So let's go see if we can grab some grommets and make some holes and cut this other thing off and see if we can enhance this a little bit more. So let's get to it. So one of the things we need to determine is what size the wire is. You can do it in either inches or in millimeters. So let's flip it on and take a look-see and find out what size the wire is. This is 2.9, so 3 millimeter opening would be nice and snug and kind of hold it in place. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to work, but we're going to give that a shot, and we're going to kind of go from there. I've got an assorted grommet set right over here, and we have all different kinds in here, so this will kind of tell us what we've got. These are 1/4 inch to 1/4 inch and above. So we've got some definite size here. 1/4 inch is a tiny one. Don't know how well you can see it. Let me zoom you in here real quick so you can see this. But we've got 1/4 inch, we've got 5/16, and those are about the 2, maybe 3/8. So as you can see, so this is the smallest one. And then we go to the next size up, and then the largest one. So what we want to do is kind of feed our wire through the small one, and as you can see, let me back you up just a pinch. Is that skeeter bothering you, buddy? You don't like mosquitoes. We'll try to feed the smallest one, and as you can see, it's really tight and it's not going to go through. So we definitely don't want the tiny one. The next size up is 5/16, it looks like. So going through a 5/16, that one is a little bit on the loose side, but it would work for what our intentions are. So what we'll end up doing is drilling a hole here, maybe 3 holes different size, maybe 2 holes different sizes, because I can't imagine it being bigger than one of those two. There's a 3/8 and there's a 5/16. So we'll go ahead and poke some holes in. I would say the small one to the top, the bigger one to the bottom on all 8 of these, and then that'll give us a pull-through for our wiring. And then if we want to bundle them, it's easy to pull from each strand and bring them out, tape them together, and then start stranding them, and makes life a lot easier. So let's get that done. First thing I'm going to do is remove the rest of that off with the trusty saw. So let's get to it. That gives you a much wider picture. So put my foot on this. I've got this, excuse me, to make my cuts, I tightened this all thread so that it won't move while I cut it. And then I put a bolt on the inside of it so that when I'm done, I can run the bolt back and forth and basically thread it. I could run a tap on it if I really need to. Grommet, and that's 0.25 or 1/4 of an inch. The other thing we're going to do to this, probably this weekend, is we're going to build a metal top for it. With my other one, this makes a really good workbench, but the problem is it's sunk in. So I'm going to put a hinge on this one, or weld a hinge. Want these small holes, and then we'll kind of play it by ear moving forward. Don't want to drill a bunch of holes I don't have to have in this, so we're just going to focus on just this wiring we have here, and that should be plenty for what I need. If I've got to put bigger holes in, I'll probably go offset to these holes, and that way you're not weakening it so much. I mean, it doesn't really weaken it as it is because they're small holes, but, you know, anything to make things a little bit easier, I guess, is the way to say it. And I was saying, you can put all your supplies in this center drawer here. So then you've got yourself, you know, a cart for pretty much everything. Got your welding cart, now you've got your wiring cart, and miscellaneous type of stuff. The last thing that I would suggest on this cart is get yourself a pair of cutters and hang them somewhere here, or put a holder for them or something so that they're here where you need them. Just go out, buy yourself a set of inexpensive ones, maybe strippers, you know, that way everything's right here, or just put all your tools that you're going to need with the wire work in that on that shelf. You know, be it connectors, be it whatever you need. And that way everything's where you need it. And last but not least, one that's on backwards, naturally. Looks like leave the extra nut somewhere where you can get to it because you're going to need it. If you guys can think of any other things that I could do for here, or any ideas you may come up with. I came up with this on a whim. Just kind of a combination of everything I was doing today, and it's like, oh, that sounds like a great idea. Why don't I do that? If you wanted to, you could space them out and run them all in one place. I just wanted to make it convenient for me. Like I say, as you build something, you know, and as you find these things out, and anybody who does this type of thing and fabricating and that kind of thing thinks